Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Call halal Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, QADASH has given all praise to the Most High, in the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful scattered abroad. Shalom to the 144,000. And real quick, I want to go into this clip you're going to see right here, okay, going into the miracles. It says, quote unquote, in the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be doing our first implants for vision, where even if somebody is completely blind, we can write directly to the visual cortex. And this is Elon Musk speaking right here about the miracles that this brain implant is doing, which is going to be a great temptation for people who are blind to end up taking this because they're going to want to see. So let's just play it.
Visual implant. I think in the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be doing our first implants for vision, where even if somebody's completely blind, we can write directly to the visual cortex, and we've had that working in monkeys. Actually, I think one of our monkeys now has had the visual implant for 3 years, and at first it'll be relatively fairly low resolution, but long term you would have very high resolution and be able to see in multispectral wavelengths. So you could see in infrared, ultraviolet, radar. It's like a superpower situation. But like at some point, the cybernetic implants,
You heard that? Hold on.
I think
Let's bring that last part back.
in multispectral wavelengths. So you could see in infrared, ultraviolet, radar. It's like a superpower.
He says, you're going to be able to see in ultraviolet and radar, such and such. It says like a superpower situation. So it's going to give people a certain level of power, okay, to be able to see again, and not only be able to see again naturally or normally, as we see now, but now you're going to be able to see in the dark. You're going to be able to have X-ray vision. You're going to be able to have, to have, heat ray. Not heat ray, Salakia. Heat seeking vision and all this crazy stuff, man. Okay, and you could bet that they're gonna put these on these super soldiers when they go to hunting for Akim. Okay, so we see these things playing out. We hearing these devils talk. We know what this leads all up to, and we are reporting on it to warn you of the time that we're coming into, a time like never before. Okay, let's play some more.
Situation. But like at some point, the cybernetic implants.
Say he called them
I think in the
cybernetic
next
implants. Okay, cybernetic implants. All right, those are the miracles. And let's grab that real quick. All right, it says, Revelation chapter 13, verse 14, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, which is that, that New World Order beast system where they want to bring in this MOTB and make it where there's a whole new system. Okay, but he had the power to do these miracles, and this is what this devil is doing. Okay, making, people, blind people be able to see, deaf people be able to hear, people that can't walk be able to walk again. All this crazy stuff that he's doing. Okay, people are able to use computers with their brain. All right. It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had a wound by the sword and did live. It says in the NLT, and with all the miracles he was allowed to perform on behalf of the first beast. And these devils are performing miracles, man. Okay. He deceived all the people who belong to this world, right? If you belong to this world, this MOTB is going to be a god unto you, man. Okay? These people, they always got to get the brand new iPhone when it come out. They always got to have the brand new this, the brand new that. You are a part of this world. Okay? You caught up in this world. So you're going to be deceived by this. It says, he ordered the people to make a great statue of the first beast who was fatally wounded and then came back to life, which was the Roman Empire. Okay, now Rome is back again. Okay, doing the same wickedness. Okay, the same, but now they're they're making it a technocracy. All right. So let's go into this word for miracles, and I got it at my line too. Okay. So it says those miracles. Look at this. It says miracles.
Strong's G 4592. Semayon. Semayon.
It says a sign, mark, token, that by which a person or a thing is distinguished from others and is known. It says of miracles or wonders by which God authenticates the men sent by him. You see, and this is what Yahawashi was doing when he was on the earth. He was doing a bunch of miracles. Okay, now Esau is trying to do those same miracles via his technology. It says, or by which men prove that the cause they are pleading is God's. And this is what Esau is doing because he's doing this for his God, which is Satan. Okay, their plan is to bring in a new world order. It says, neuter or of a presumed derivative of the base of an indication, especially ceremonially or supernaturally, miracle, sign, token, wonder. Okay, let's go over here. Let's see. In the etymology line, it says a miracle, a wondrous work of God. You see, so making a blind person see again is a wondrous work. But of what God are you coming in? Okay, they're not coming in the spirit of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. They're coming in the spirit of Satan. It says miracle, story of a miracle, miracle play, object of wonder, marvelous event caused by God. Okay, and really the Most High God gave this devil this technology to be able to do this. It says to wonder at, marvel, be astonished, to regard, esteem, wonderful, astonishing, amazing. Okay, and these are things that people are going to refer to this when they think about this MOTB. It says smiling. It's going to make you smile. You ever see those videos where a person who can't hear, who haven't been able to hear for a good portion of their life, if not their whole life, they get a special hearing aid and they're able to hear for the first time? What happened? They start smiling and crying. Their families are, having tears of joy and they're smiling and everybody's happy. Okay, this is what this technology is going to do. Okay, something that excites wonder or astonishment, right? If a blind person who have never been able to see before is all of a sudden can see, that's going to cause a certain wonder of excitement and astonishment. It says extraordinary or remarkable feat, right? To make a blind person see again, a deaf person hear again, is a remarkable feat. Okay, without regard to the divinity or spiritual or supernatural power it replaced. You get the picture. Okay, so let's go over here real quick because this is how they're going to get a lot of these people, man. A lot of these people are going to fall for this stuff because they're already in a mind state of the miracle. They see the ooh and the ow, and it says Revelation chapter 13, and let me grab this too over here because if it was possible, I went into this the other day, but the truth of the matter is a lot of people are going to be deceived by this, man. It's going to seem like and then those of us that speak up against it, we're going to seem like the biggest demons in the world. Why would you not want a blind person to see again? See, this is why I don't like y'all Hebrew Israelites, man. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. A blind man can see and y'all think it's a problem with that? Okay. But you don't know what comes with that stuff. It says Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. And you got brothers that have certain ailments and issues going on in their bodies. And Esau going to tell you, hey, I can fix this, I can fix that. If you take this, and it's going to be a temptation in not taking that, man. Not only will you not be able to eat, you not be able to drink, you not be able to buy or sell, own a home, buy a vehicle, or drive a vehicle. You're not going to be able to have, any medical help. I went into that in my video last week. You're not going to have any medical help, bro. Well, I posted it last night, but I did it last week. But this whole medical system is going digital. Okay, so it's all going to be tied in. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So the point is that we're coming into the hour of temptation. Okay, everybody's going to be tempted to take this MOTB. Okay, this is why Esau is putting the world in such a state where people are struggling, catching hell, and they're going to be so desperate for, some help or change that they're going to end up taking it, man. It says, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So it's going to be a test of your integrity, a test of your loyalty to Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. And a lot of people are going to denounce the Most High Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, even that claim to be in His truth, just because they want to reap the benefits of these artificial miracles. It says, him that hath overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power. He shall go out no more, and I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from the Most High, and I will write upon him my new name. So this is talking about the elect that endure. Okay, you're gonna have to fight this temptation that's coming, man. But like I said, for certain people, it's gonna be very, very hard, and they're gonna give into it. It says Matthew chapter 24, verse 21 in the NLT. It says, for there will be greater anguish than at any time since the world began, and it will never be so great again. And Esau is purposely making times bad, making shit hard, so that what happened? You will be obligated to want to bow down to him and do whatever he says to alleviate some of this stress and this hell and this pain that's being caused. You think this devil is out here poisoning the air, the water, the food, everything, to just let people live healthy lives? Man, he purposely made you go get sick or go blind or whatever it may be, and he's going to tell you the miracle is to take the MOTB. That's why they have something called action reaction solution. Okay, something like that. Roughly paraphrasing. I don't know if I said that right, but you get the picture. Okay, they cause a situation, they gauge the reaction, and then they bring in the solution, order out of chaos. They bring in the order out of the chaos that they caused. It says, in fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive, but it will be shortened for the sake of the Most High's chosen ones, right? The elect. It says, then if anyone tells you, look, here is the Messiah, or there, or there he is, don't believe it. And people gonna be, really falling for this stuff. All right, they're gonna be really going for it. It's gonna be a time of, and Salakia for the noise. I'm gonna go back into this plantation. People gonna be falling for this stuff, and they're gonna think that this is it. It says, here's the point. It says, and there shall rise false anointings and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Right? If it was possible, they're gonna deceive even the very elect, but it's not possible. The elect are gonna see through this, man. The elect know what the MOTB is. Okay, the elect are aware of what time we're in. They will be aware of what time that we're in. You're not gonna be able to deceive the elect, but everybody else, they gonna get got by this, man. They gonna start to believe it, and then it's gonna come to a point and they're gonna start to worship it. That's gonna be, this MOTB is gonna be a god unto these people, man. So when the Lord is telling us that, it says, by great signs and wonders, okay, and what we read earlier, that word miracle goes into sign, okay, a wonderful thing, right? Bring that back. All right. So we see what this devil is doing. It says, and so I can say it again. So I keep for the noise. It says, false prophets and shall show great signs and wonders. So that's those miracles, man. This devil gonna be showing great signs and wonders with those miracles that he's about to push out. Okay, it's gonna be like a whole new wave, it can do this, it can do that, it can do this, it can do that, and next thing people gonna be getting tempted by it and end up taking it and end up being destroyed, man. All right, do not take it. Shalom, coming through all about the ball.